guys, it's me, Glam'eyes Girl 1111, bringing you this Valentine inspired tutorial. I don't really believe in Valentine's Day. It's kind of like a false holiday almost. It's like a I love you but only on this day kind of thing. But I do love the colors. I love the inspiration. I love pink and I love chocolate. So it is a good holiday, and I'm just a very spirited, festive person, so I do believe in dressing up for that holiday. And if you have a special somebody, it's probably way more exciting for you. So I have some bows on, but I'm having a lot of trouble focusing to film the intro, so if I'm looking at the viewfinder, I'm very sorry, but I'm just trying to film a good intro. Anyway, since we're super close to my face, I just thought I would tell you a little bit about the look. It's a rocker, sort of holographic, cat eye sort of look. Feel free to add fake eyelashes. I was going to, but I decided not to. Yeah, I like the lips. It's very fun. It's very festive, and I think it's really flattering on a lot of eye shapes. I use pink glitter, even though it's pretty holographic, but feel free to put your own spin on it, and I hope you enjoy this tutorial, so let's get started. For the most part, this is a talk-through tutorial, but looking through the footage, I realized with the new camera I was totally out of focus. These are the better clips of me putting on foundation, but I used the Revlon Nearly Naked Foundation with my Sigma F80 flat top kabuki brush, and I applied about 1 to 2 layers of that, but just use whichever foundation you like and which makes you feel comfortable and confident. I applied my foundation, and I'm pretty sure I sped it up because I was out of focus, but I used the Revlon Nearly Naked Foundation after moisturizing with Embryo Lace, and I applied about 2 layers, and now I'm taking my wet beauty blender, and I'm going to make sure it's all even and streak-free of brush strokes. One thing to keep in mind, I have a bunch of sponges like this. This one just happens to be a beauty blender because this one's the one that's clean right now. I think they all work the same. Beauty blender is slightly superior, but not worth the price. So okay, so once I get to this step, when my foundation is blended all over and looking nice, some of the extra oil absorbed on the sponge, I like to take my Physicians Formula Conceal RX concealer in the color Natural Light. You need very little of this. And I like to use this underneath my eyes and on... That's excellent. Do you hear that car alarm? On slight blemishes I have that weren't covered all the way from the foundation, but usually that's enough coverage for me. I like this concealer color because it's slightly peach, so it does correct darkness underneath the eyes as well as covering really well. Once I have the concealer applied and my foundation is pretty much perfect, it's time for powder. Underneath my eyes, I like to take a fluffy eyeshadow brush. I use the Smashbox one because it's a little too fluffy to use on my eyes anyways. And I'm taking Nye Cameo powder, which is, if you don't know, another luxury powder. I'm sure you've all heard of the banana powder. This is like the white girl version. So that will be the one that I'm using. It's slightly pink. It highlights the under eyes. I like it. You need concealer with it though because it is very drying. So I just highlight this portion of my face. Next I'm going to take MAC prep+prime. It's a translucent finishing powder. It's my all-time favorite. It's not matte. And I'm going to take that on this pink brush, which goes nicely with our theme. Pick this up at iMats. It's just a powder brush. I'm going to start with contour like I normally do, and my favorite contouring powder is actually a foundation powder by the Fitme Maybelline in 325. As you can see, it's much darker than my skin tone, although it isn't very dark. And I'm just going to take a stippling dual fiber brush from Rite Aid. This is my favorite way to apply contour because I really do get very precise. So I suck in my cheekbones. And just draw little lines. and then I blend with the same brush. I think that just adds a nice bit of definition. You can definitely tell a lot more on the camera. And I also like to do my temples and my hairline. Now that I have dark hair, it helps with seeing all the foundation on my skin. And I do my nose a little bit. Also underneath my chin and down my neck. That is that part done. You can see there's a lot more shape left in my face. I'm going to be using a very pink toned natural blush for, in my opinion, for my skin. I will be choosing the Maybelline Bouncy blush in 05 Fresh Pink. I just use my finger with it, smudge it on, and then I take, oh, that looks so funny. I guess I'll just take a dual fiber powder / blush brush. This is an F15 from Sigma. I really blend this out since I put it on like a clown. Nothing against clown. And if you need a little extra help, like I do, let me take my beauty blender and blend around the edges. I think that this adds just like a really nice natural baby pink to my cheeks. Now I go a little blush heavy because I like blush. You may not be able to tell. And let me know if you like these talk through videos because I know some people prefer them. Okay, now once that's done, I like that blush because it's satin, and I like to add my own highlight, which my favorite one has been Nars Albatross. One of those products that's high-end and really worth the price, but there is an e.l.f. dupe, and I will list that below. I think it's Light Me Up or something, but it's that one right there. It's a white gold sort of thing. I'm going to be taking another beautiful blush that I got at IMAX. I like this one because it's very wispy, so it doesn't apply too much and it blends it nicely. So I start with a C shape around my eyebrow and bring it in and start to blend. Got a little carried away there. Okay, and last but not least, I take whatever's left on the brush, forehead, nose, chin. Now I'm very dry skin, so I can afford to do all this highlighting. If you have very oily skin, I would second think it, but you can do it a little bit more delicately. Now taking that original powder brush, no more product on it, I'm going to blend my entire face, starting with the neck, because I always forget, working up in circular motions, and that's the face. Okay, before we start eyes, I'm going to prime my eyes using Jessies Girl's eyeshadow primer. I love this. And then I'm going to fill in my eyebrows using MAC Texture and a brow gel, which I put my brow powder in it to make like a brow thing. One note is, when I use the Jessies primer, I use the Sigma P80 because it doesn't leave any lines. So I'm going to do that and be right back. Okay, now they're all up and personal with my eyebrows. You may be thinking, why did she fill her eyebrows in? They're really thick already. I know they're really thick already. I fill them in to be a little bit more red to match my hair. I know they look orange. If you don't like it, I don't care. I do care about your opinion, but this is something I like. It's something I think good, even though my eyebrows are a little funk and they need to be cleaned up. This is what I'm doing. I applied the Jessies Girl eyelid primer, so my eyelids are feeling tacky, and let's get started. I'm going to be starting with an underbrow highlight, and I'm just going to take my Sigma brush, pencil brush in E30 in this Wet n Wild color from the trio called Sweet as Candy. Walking on Eggshells is very similar, but as you can see, it's super sparkly, and it makes my brows look nice. I am also going to stick this color right in my inner corner. And I'm taking my MAC palette just because I don't have any other matte colors that aren't in this palette, so I'll be taking the color Blanc type. It's a cream sort of color. Sometimes I use Foxy from the Urban Decay Naked 2, but that one's a little bit more yellow, and I'm going for a little bit warmer of a tone for this look because you know it's pink and stuff. So I'm applying that all over the lid to set the primer and even out the coloring in my eyelid. I'm not using a mirror, I'm using the viewfinder, so that's really annoying. I'm really sorry, but I don't have a better mirror to use. Now, going back to that Wet n Wild trio, I'm going to be taking the pencil brush again, same one, no big deal. I'm going to be taking this brown. It's a really nice warm crease color. I'm going to be sticking that right in my socket line and just going back and forth. Taking that same blending brush, blend while it's still clean. And then I'm going to stick the blending brush in the darker color. Just make sure it looks nice and good. So once we're at like this point, this is going to be my little spin on what I normally do. I want to warm up the crease with a light pink. So I'm going to be taking the same pink color from this palette, that one, and very lightly, because it's super pigmented, take it on that same brush and sweep that as well into the crease. So that's going to give me a sparkly, warm crease, as you can see right there. Now, I don't know if I can do this on camera, and I have limited filming space right now, so I'm going to use my Physicians Formula Eye Booster 2-in-1 Ultra Black Boosting Lash Eyeliner Serum, or whatever. It's the pen. And I'm going to do a wing. It doesn't have to be completely perfect, but I would try to make it so. Okay, so as you can see, it's still pretty jagged. I would make it more perfect if you're not going to do the glitter step. I'm going to do the glitter step, so I don't really care. Because, you know, my hands are shaky and they're just... So, there's a few more steps we need to take, and that would be tight lining. I'm going to use Estee Lauder Double Wear in my tight line. I really like this. Okay, now for this next step, you can use a matte brown, or you can do what I'm going to do, which is a very hot, hot, hot pink. Using my Urban Decay 40th eyeshadow edition, I'm using that pink color on an angled brush like this, and I'm going to very carefully smudge that along my lower lash line and probably get it in my eye. So watch me struggle. You see that? It's nice, huh? Once we're done with this step, you can take the blending or the pencil brush and just flick that up a little bit. Okay, then I'm going to take this Wet n Wild white eyeliner and smudge that on my bottom lash line. So this is looking pretty sloppy right now, but I swear the next two steps are going to make it look amazing. That's why I love it, because you don't have to be super careful and spend 45 minutes just on your eyeliner. So this is the part that's going to make it look really good, even though it is optional. So if you're a little bit better eyeliner than me or a little more careful, you can definitely skip this step and maybe just put a pink sparkly eyeshadow over it. But I'm going to apply Lit Glitter in Pretty Hot Pink size 3, and I'm going to use their sealer and a little brush with it. So I'm going to do that on camera because I think it's really cool to watch, but then I'm going to apply mascara and fake eyelashes off camera because you're just going to see me struggle, which some of you might enjoy. So that's what it looks like. It's holographic, so it's not. To make my eye water. And I think that makes it very interesting looking. This could totally be worn on days that aren't. So I'm back. I decided not to apply fake eyelashes because I'm having a good eyelash day and I thought I'd take advantage of that. And they kind of take away from the glitter a little bit. So I just decided to put on loads of mascara, and I used the Rimmel Glam'eyes mascara. Everything, of course, will be down below, as well as the lip products I use now. I used about 3. And I got this really pink sort of girly sort of lip going on. So that's what I did. I'll see you guys later. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and let me know if you did it or if you would make any changes. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, especially to the very, very end. I love you all. Goodbye.